Welcome, esteemed gentlemen. Beware the man who spends too much time alone, for in silence he sharpens edges you'll never see coming. There's something about the Sigma male, the lone wolf who stands just outside society's well-trodden paths. Unlike the stereotypical alpha, he doesn't crave attention, nor does he seek validation. Instead, he's the one sitting in the quiet corners, observing, thinking, and, some might say, planning. Psychology suggests that prolonged solitude can lead to extreme self-awareness, even bordering on psychological resilience that few can match. But here's the catch. While most people might unravel in isolation, a Sigma male thrives in it. Now, before you start picturing a brooding, cape-wearing Batman figure lurking in the shadows, let's add a twist. Imagine this guy at a coffee shop, quietly sipping an espresso, dissecting the world in his mind as effortlessly as he stirs his drink. Sure, he's dangerous, but not in the way you think. His strength lies in his silence, his unpredictability, and his ability to see what others overlook. What's more dangerous than a person who's completely comfortable on their own terms, with no desire to fit in or impress? In a world that celebrates the loud, the brash, and the endlessly social, the Sigma male stands apart. And that's what makes him, well, a little dangerous. Number 1. Strategic observation of human behavior. A Sigma male, someone who chooses to spend a lot of time alone, doesn't just observe the world passively. His solitude allows him to study human behavior at a level most people never reach. While others are busy socializing, he's taking mental notes, analyzing the actions, expressions, and choices of those around him, without the interference of his own needs or desires. This detached observation isn't influenced by friendships, biases, or any desire for approval, which lets him see patterns and motivations more clearly than most. Over time, he develops a unique understanding of what drives people, their ambitions, insecurities, and hidden motives. When you strip away the need to fit in or to feel liked, your perception sharpens. The Sigma male learns to interpret subtle cues others miss, a twitch in someone's expression, a shift in tone, a micro-expression that gives away frustration or eagerness. His ability to see beyond the surface and piece together these details creates a kind of psychological map of those around him. In high-stakes situations, this knowledge can become a serious advantage. He can anticipate reactions, predict decisions, and know exactly how to navigate complex social dynamics without saying much at all. Unlike those who are caught up in the moment or influenced by group dynamics, he observes from a distance, seeing everything with startling clarity. This heightened awareness allows him to act with a precision that's hard for others to counter or even understand. With this level of insight, the Sigma male doesn't just adapt to his surroundings, he controls how he interacts with them. It's this quiet mastery of human behavior, developed in solitude, that makes him a formidable figure, one who understands others far more deeply than they understand him. At number 2, ability to switch from passive observer to calculated actor. A Sigma male, known for spending much of his time in solitude, often appears to be simply observing from the sidelines. His detached, quiet presence can be misleading, making him seem passive or uninterested. But this couldn't be further from the truth. His silence and distance aren't signs of disengagement, rather, they're a deliberate choice. During these periods of observation, he's deeply attuned to his environment, analyzing people, motives, and outcomes without the distractions that others fall prey to. He watches, learns, and absorbs information, building a nuanced understanding of his surroundings. When he finally decides to act, he does so with a purpose and precision that can catch everyone off guard. The Sigma male knows that there's power in timing and restraint. Instead of acting on impulse or responding emotionally, he waits for the right moment to make a move. This approach makes his actions far more impactful because they're not driven by external pressures or reactions to others' expectations. He controls when and how he engages, often striking with an effectiveness that others can't anticipate. This ability to switch from a quiet observer to a calculated actor is part of what makes him so effective and hard to predict. Because he doesn't act out of a need to prove himself or gain approval, his motivations are solely his own. He doesn't waste energy on unimportant battles or petty conflicts. He focuses only on what aligns with his own values and goals. His actions, when they do come, are purposeful, often surprising those who thought they had him figured out. In this way, the Sigma male's selective engagement becomes a powerful tool, allowing him to influence situations from a place of strength and control, never revealing his intentions until he's ready to do so. Number 3. Deep reflection, leading to a philosophy of non-interference. A Sigma male's deep self-reflection often shapes his personal philosophy in a unique way. Through spending time alone, he develops a strong sense of autonomy, valuing his own freedom and independence above all else. This introspective journey helps him understand himself in a way few people do, forming a clear set of principles that guide his life. Chief among these principles is a philosophy of non-interference. He respects his own independence so deeply that he has no desire to impose his will on others. He believes that everyone should have the space to live their life without external control or influence, just as he does. This philosophy means that the Sigma male rarely tries to manipulate or dominate others. He has little interest in controlling situations or bending people to his will, preferring instead to let people follow their own paths. In his view, everyone is responsible for their own actions and decisions, and he respects that boundary. However, this doesn't mean he's passive or complacent. If someone tries to interfere with his life or challenge his core values, his response will be as deliberate and calculated as his philosophy itself. He may not seek conflict, but he will not back down if his independence is threatened. His self-sovereignty gives him a calm confidence that makes him a formidable opponent when crossed. He responds to challenges not with anger or aggression, but with a steady, unshakable resolve that others find difficult to match. His reactions are carefully thought out based on his principles rather than on impulse or emotion. This level-headedness and commitment to his autonomy make him a powerful figure, one who won't be easily swayed or controlled. People quickly realize that while he may avoid conflict, his respect for his own boundaries means he won't allow anyone to cross them without consequences. At number 4, increased perceptiveness and strategic thinking. The Sigma male's solitude isn't just a retreat from the world, it's a training ground for his mind. Spending so much time alone, he develops a deeply analytical perspective, honing his ability to think strategically without the noise of others' opinions or emotions clouding his judgment. While others are influenced by social pressures and distractions, he has the freedom to observe life from a distance, gathering insights and seeing patterns that most people overlook. This habit of careful observation enables him to understand the dynamics of a situation before he ever steps into it. Over time, he becomes adept at recognizing subtle cues in people's behavior, noticing how small actions or words can hint at bigger intentions. He learns to assess situations from every angle, anticipating how different people might react and adjusting his own approach to stay one step ahead. In social interactions, his strategic thinking allows him to navigate smoothly, often directing conversations or outcomes without anyone realizing he's done so. He's not trying to manipulate or control. Rather, he approaches each interaction with purpose, knowing exactly what he wants to achieve. The Sigma male's ability to see beyond the immediate moment also extends to his long-term goals. Unlike those who jump into action without thinking it through, he doesn't waste energy on short-sighted pursuits or get sidetracked by temporary gains. He carefully weighs his choices, analyzing how each move fits into his larger vision. His patience and foresight mean that when he does act, he's fully prepared, with a plan in place that others didn't even see coming. In this way, the Sigma male turns his solitude into a powerful tool. His ability to combine deep analysis with strategic action makes him a figure who isn't just hard to predict, but nearly impossible to catch off guard. He becomes a step ahead of others, a quiet yet formidable presence who understands the bigger picture better than anyone else in the room. Number 5, detached observance of society as an outsider. The Sigma male's habit of spending time alone gives him a unique vantage point from which to view society. Unlike others who are deeply woven into social networks and constantly shaped by group norms, He stands on the outside, observing everything with a detached, almost clinical clarity. This perspective allows him to see through many of the societal illusions and expectations that go unquestioned by most people. While others may be caught up in chasing status, approval, or conformity, the Sigma male isn't swayed by these pressures. Instead, he's often skeptical of what society values and what it expects from individuals. This detachment lets him recognize patterns and flaws in how society operates. He sees how people are often driven by shallow goals, easily influenced by trends, or manipulated by social hierarchies they don't even realize they're following. The Sigma male understands that many of the pressures people feel are artificial, created to keep individuals striving for things that don't truly fulfill them. Because he isn't invested in impressing others or meeting anyone's standards, he's free from these societal constraints. This independence makes him unpredictable to those who are used to people conforming to norms and following certain unspoken rules. What makes the Sigma male particularly unsettling to some is his ability to reject these norms without hesitation. He lives by his own standards, creating his own path rather than following a preset one. To people deeply invested in the rules and expectations of society, his autonomy can seem rebellious, even dangerous. But he isn't seeking to disrupt. He simply refuses to play by a script that he sees as limiting or unnecessary. This quiet defiance, paired with his keen understanding of social structures, makes him a force that stands apart, one who sees the world as it is and chooses to engage with it only on his terms. Number 6. Power in remaining an enigma. The Sigma male is an enigma, a figure whose silence and solitude create a kind of mystery that others can't quite decipher. The more time he spends alone, the less predictable he becomes, as his thoughts and intentions remain unknown to everyone but himself. This unknowability makes people uneasy. When someone doesn't open up, doesn't follow the same social rules, and doesn't feel the need to explain themselves, they become an unpredictable factor in any situation. People generally fear what they can't understand, and the Sigma male embodies this fear effortlessly. Unlike others who constantly reveal their thoughts and feelings, he keeps his cards close, giving nothing away. This isn't an act or a calculated move, it's simply who he is. But to those on the outside, this silence can be unsettling, even intimidating. People often project their assumptions or insecurities onto him, filling in the gaps with their own ideas of what he might be thinking or planning. Because of this, the Sigma male can seem more powerful than he actually is, since people don't know what he's capable of or how he might react. This mystery serves as both a shield and a weapon. It protects him from being easily read, making him difficult to manipulate or control. At the same time, it grants him an advantage in any interaction, as others must constantly guess his motives, often second-guessing their own strategies in the process. The Sigma male's choice to remain an enigma isn't meant to be intimidating, yet it creates an aura of quiet strength and resilience. By simply refusing to be known, he stands apart, a figure whose potential can't be measured or anticipated, a presence that commands attention precisely because it reveals so little. Number 7. Unwavering sense of purpose. For a Sigma male, time alone is more than just a retreat. It's a space for aligning with his deepest goals and values. Removed from the constant pull of social expectations and external influences, he's able to reflect on what truly matters to him without compromise. This solitude cultivates a sense of purpose that runs deeper than fleeting ambitions or external validation. It's in these quiet moments that he can ask himself what he genuinely wants out of life, and his answers are not diluted by others' opinions or societal pressures. Once he identifies a goal or pursuit, he approaches it with intense, almost tunnel vision focus. He isn't distracted by trends or others' expectations, nor is he looking for applause or approval. Instead, he's driven by an internal compass that keeps him focused and resilient, regardless of external circumstances. This clarity of purpose enables him to navigate obstacles with a calm determination that's difficult to deter. Challenges that might overwhelm or sidetrack others only fuel his commitment further because he's deeply aligned with his goals on a personal level. The Sigma male's approach to his goals is strategic and methodical. He's willing to put in the long hours, the quiet work, and the sacrifice necessary to achieve what he set out to do. This focus can be intimidating to others who may not understand the depth of his commitment or the extent to which he's prepared to go to realize his vision. But his purpose isn't for anyone else to understand or validate. It's something he holds firmly within himself. This unwavering dedication to his goals makes him an exceptionally effective force, one whose path can't easily be diverted or controlled, and whose persistence often leads to success that others could never have anticipated. Number 8. Expertise in nonverbal communication. A Sigma male's time spent in solitude often sharpens his observational skills, particularly in reading nonverbal cues. Without the distractions of constant social interaction, he learns to quietly analyze others from a distance, picking up on body language, subtle shifts in tone, and fleeting micro-expressions. These nuances in communication reveal more about a person than their words ever could, and a Sigma male with his practiced eye becomes an expert at decoding them. This heightened sensitivity to nonverbal communication gives him an edge that most people don't even realize he has. While others might focus on what's being said, he notices what's left unsaid: a slight hesitation, an eyebrow twitch, a subtle shift in posture. All these small signs reveal hidden thoughts, feelings, and intentions. Through this constant observation, he develops an almost intuitive sense of others' motivations and emotional states, often anticipating their actions or reactions before they themselves are fully aware of them. This ability to read people makes him hard to deceive. Lies and misdirection often rely on controlling one's words, but few can mask their body language or facial expressions entirely. A Sigma male who's trained himself to pick up on these inconsistencies can detect deception with startling accuracy. He sees through facades, understanding people on a level that many don't even understand about themselves. For a Sigma male, this skill isn't just a tool for self-protection. It also allows him to navigate social situations with precision and insight. He knows whom he can trust, who may be hiding something, and who might have ulterior motives. This awareness creates a sense of calm confidence, as he's rarely blindsided or manipulated, staying several steps ahead in interactions and understanding others in ways they often can't fully grasp. Number 9. Ability to withstand psychological isolation. The Sigma male's comfort with solitude goes beyond mere preference. It's a foundational aspect of his psychological resilience. While most people seek constant connection or distraction to stave off loneliness, a Sigma male thrives in his own company. The ability to be alone, without succumbing to feelings of isolation or despair, becomes a strength he cultivates over time. For him, solitude isn't something to be feared or avoided. It's a space where he can grow, reflect, and find clarity. This deep adaptability to being alone builds an emotional resilience that most people cannot fathom. Where others might feel vulnerable or uneasy without the presence of others, the Sigma male finds peace in his own thoughts and actions. He learns to self-soothe and rely on his inner strength, which allows him to endure situations that would overwhelm others. This makes him exceptionally well equipped to handle psychological stress or isolation, whether it's navigating periods of personal hardship or enduring high-pressure environments. He doesn't break down when the world around him is quiet or when social networks dissipate. Instead, he digs deeper into his own mind, drawing strength from his self-sufficiency. What's more, the Sigma male's ability to withstand psychological isolation isn't just about surviving alone, it's about thriving in it. This solitude provides the mental space for him to reflect, strategize, and clarify his values and goals. When facing adversity, his mind remains calm and composed because he's comfortable navigating challenges without relying on external support. This resilience, born from a life of intentional solitude, means the Sigma male is far less likely to crack under pressure. In fact, he's often at his best when alone, using the space to build his inner strength and continue moving forward with purpose, no matter what. Number 10. Freedom from social programming. The Sigma male's time spent alone isn't just a matter of preference. It's a conscious choice that allows him to step back from the constant bombardment of social programming that most people never even question. while society pushes norms, expectations, and predefined paths onto individuals. The Sigma male uses his solitude to critically deconstruct and analyze these influences. He doesn't accept the world as it is presented to him. Instead, he challenges the very structure of cultural and societal expectations, examining their origins, purposes, and true impact. By doing so, he becomes immune to the unconscious conditioning that governs most people's decisions and behaviors. Where others might blindly follow trends, seek approval, or conform to the rules of their social groups, the Sigma male is able to recognize these pressures for what they truly are: tools for control, shaping individuals to fit a mold that suits the collective, rather than the individual. His ability to step outside of this system and question its value means he doesn't fall into the same traps that others do. He doesn't feel the need to adhere to conventional paths or chase external validation, because he's built his own understanding of the world based on critical thought, not societal dictates. This freedom from social programming makes the Sigma male difficult to influence or manipulate. While others may be swayed by peer pressure, advertising, or the expectations of family and friends, he remains largely untouched by these forces. His decisions are based on his own internal compass, not the collective rules of the world around him. His independence of thought makes him unpredictable and resistant to external control. And in a society that thrives on conformity, this quality makes him not only a free spirit but also a force that's nearly impossible to shape or dominate. The Sigma male, through his preference for solitude and deep self-reflection, cultivates a powerful set of traits that make him both fascinating and formidable. His ability to observe the world with a critical, detached perspective allows him to see through the noise of social expectations and false narratives, giving him an unmatched clarity and understanding of human behavior. Unbound by societal pressures, he navigates life with a purpose and resilience that few can match, staying focused on his goals with an unwavering commitment. This freedom from social programming, coupled with an expert ability to read others, makes him a strategic force, one who is not easily manipulated or deterred. But perhaps the most dangerous aspect of the Sigma male is the combination of his silence and his strength. In a world that often values noise and outward expression, his quiet nature is often misunderstood, underestimating his ability to dominate when the situation demands it. His philosophy of non-interference, his self-sovereignty, and his mastery over psychological isolation all contribute to a man who cannot be swayed by external forces, a man whose actions are as deliberate as they are rare. At the heart of the Sigma male is a paradox. He is solitary, yet deeply connected to the inner workings of the world around him. He is independent, yet capable of making calculated, impactful moves when needed. It's this combination of self-sufficiency, insight, and quiet strength that makes him not just difficult to understand, but impossible to control. The Sigma male is a force that operates outside of the norms, and in doing so, he becomes a powerful presence, moving through life on his own terms, untouched by the limitations of the world that seeks to constrain him. If you've made it this far, then you've caught a glimpse into the mind of a Sigma male, a rare breed of individual who exists beyond the norms, unshaken by the pressures of society. If you found this exploration into his world intriguing and thought-provoking, make sure to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you'll unlock even more deep dives into the minds of exceptional individuals, uncovering the traits and philosophies that make them truly stand apart. Don't miss out on future content that will keep you questioning, learning, and evolving. Subscribe now and join a community that understands the power of thinking differently and living boldly.